Well, hello everybody. Do I sound different? Do I sound better? I hope I do. Anyways, welcome to my survival world. And before you go all thinking like, oh, why does he have so much stuff? Is this a 100 days video? This is not a 100 days video, okay? This is just the world that I've been playing on um, for the past year or two. And I didn't really want to restart for YouTube, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Sucks for you, I know. But anyways, this is going to be kind of a world tour video, just so you know what's going on in my world. Yeah, so we'll start our tour in this building that I'm standing in. So this is the first building I built. I know, magnificent. Anyways, I'll just walk around so you guys can see the outside. But yeah, first building I built, and it was actually the only standing building in this little village I have here for a long time. Anyways, we'll come inside, and I did spend a lot of time decorating it. Like, ignore that. That's for later. But this is my storage system. It still is my storage system, and it sucks because you'll notice as we go through our world tour here that there are chests randomly all over the world, so that's something I need to work on. So yeah, this is like the kitchen area with the storage system. Up the stairs, and we come to my bed. We'll sleep right now since it's dark. Okay, so this is where my first enchanting table is, and first ender chest. This used to be my main enchanting station, but I moved it, actually, to my XP farm. So that's where, like, all my enchanted books are and whatnot. But yeah, I probably spent an hour, maybe 2 hours on this building alone, and that doesn't count the time I spent just standing here, looking through chests. Anyways, as we continue, I can't remember what was the second building I built. It was either that one or that one. I'm pretty sure it's this one. So this is my cow farmhouse, the little farmhouse. And it's very unethically packed full of cows, as usual. Plus my horses and donkeys. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, this world is 1.19.2. I have not updated yet to 1.20. I don't plan to update until um, the quality of life mods and uh, performance mods that I usually use update. So yeah, until those update, I will be playing on 1.19.2, which I don't really mind because the new update, yeah, it's cool, but you know. Anyways, back to the tour. So this little stair is actually here because I kept having villagers fall in to the cow pen, and I got sick of that, so I just put some blocks down. So we come inside, you'll notice that most of my buildings have green and moss carpets, and I just really like how that looks, and a lot of them will have leaves on the inside, or the ones that I've finished decorating do. So we'll come upstairs. So most of these houses are just for villagers, and I like how most of them look. Like, obviously this one's still kind of empty, there's no like tables or chairs or anything. Then we come out here. This is an automatic pumpkin farm. It runs on um, daylight sensors, so as it turns night, it'll harvest the farm. And it just runs passively. I haven't finished it, if you couldn't tell. Then over here is just another villager house. You'll see a lot of these, and I've just been working on them. You'll also see a lot of these little fields here. I absolutely love these, and I think they're great for decoration. They're one of my favorite things to just put around everywhere. But they're also have use. I have composters around at a couple of them in hopes that farmer villagers will come and collect potatoes and, so my village will constantly be repopulating itself. So this is like the third building I built. It is my villager hall. It's where I have my important villagers. Like this guy, I had a zombie spawner I was using as an XP farm until I found a skeleton spawner, so I would sell all the rotten flesh here. Then this is my mending book guy, and right here is just my paper guy. Then we come up here and there's just a bajillion beds and workstations for all of my villagers. So this house, not too interesting. Then right here is where they meet and they discuss, am I a good guy? Am I worth giving discounts to? And then this guy, I don't know why he thinks he needs to do this. I think it's kind of annoying. But anyway, this is my mini farm. So you flick the lever and you hold a seed and it'll automatically harvest and bone meal things for you. Get out of the way, guy. Thank you. But yes, there's actually a hole in the roof, and that's how you get to the chests to put in the bone meal. And if you haven't noticed already, everything here is very lusciously decorated. Flowers and leaves everywhere. These are actually supposed to have cauldron on the bottom, but I took them out because I'm currently repopulating the village, and I don't want a bunch of leather workers, so just pretend there's cauldrons there. This is my sheep farm. I'm planning on building a bigger one soon because I'm using wool a lot as like these covered canvases here. You come inside is my wool storage and a bed and some workstations for villagers. These were my original farms where I got my food, and they're also decorative because farms and decoration just go together perfectly. So we got potato, wheat, and sugar cane. This is I still use this sugar cane every once in a while, but I have an automatic one set up. So if I want a lot quick, I'll use this one, but if I don't really care, I'll just let the other one do its thing. So let's come back over here. So this is a cactus farm, and maybe later for a couple of these mob farms I have, I'll go into like replay mod and show you guys some of the things. But yeah, this has been running. I don't think I've hardly taken any cactus out since the beginning. It's a pretty small one. It's only one layer. And it's a 4x4. So it's pretty slow, but I haven't been using cactus that much, so it's perfect for me right now. And we come over here. This is another villager's house. It's got 2 blast furnaces in. Then we come over here, another villager house. This is one of the more recent buildings I've built because there's an empty space back here. Then, I don't know why I blocked this off with the hedge. Then this is my bell tower. So let's take a peek inside. Beds for villagers. This is also where I have my main beacon come up through. Then at the very top, ignore the iron golems. I put them up here hoping that they would stop them from spawning lower down, but it didn't work. So they're just chilling up here. I'll probably never get rid of them. But yeah, technically there's no bell up there, but That's also my AFK spot for my creeper farm, which I'll show you next. That's this little thing here. So everything here, all of these like little shop things are connected to a farm, and they're all color coded. So sheep are red, gunpowder is gray, cactus is green, and sugarcane way back there is light green. So if we come over here and we take a look, I've just put my extra sand in here, and I didn't properly spawn proof it down there. So spiders do spawn occasionally, so there's just random bits of string everywhere. But yeah, that's how I get my TNT. And I'm trying to decide if I should tour the whole village and then show what's below. I guess I'll tour the whole village. before we go down there, let's take a look at the sugarcane farm. So this is the sugarcane farm right here. Nothing fancy, it's just an observer piston farm. As soon as one grows, it'll trigger the pistons and it'll all fall down into the water here. And there's a little collection system at the bottom here. Yeah, nothing too fancy, but it gets stuff done. That windmill up there, I'm not happy with it. The sails I made out of light gray wool because I thought it might look okay, and it's what I had the most of at the time. But I think I don't like it at all. And I've been meaning to go in and change the white sails, or the sails to white, but I'm lazy, so that's probably never going to get done. Then there's these little two guard towers here that surround my nether portal. Ah, and I've been meaning to put like a little roof or something over this, but yeah, I've been too lazy to, and I haven't decided what I actually want to put. If I want to put like a little, retaining wall, maybe, and the gateway. I don't know. Then, the growing chest monster everywhere. So this is one of my favorite houses, actually. It's pretty small, but you come inside. It's one of the most cozy and well decorated. So we come up here, and there's 3 beds for villagers. And, you know, all my potted plants and a nice fireplace. I don't know. I just really like this house for some reason. Let's see if we can get it from this angle here. Yeah. So, and let's move on. So that was the first house I built down here. This is supposed to be a bench that you can sit in, but villagers keep walking by and screwing up the mine carts, so it's a little messed up. Plus you sit in the slab, not on the slab, so that's nice. More decorative farms. I still need to put a decorative border around the edge of this farm. I built that one yesterday. This is the second house I built down here. It's just more beds for villagers. And then this building over here is the most recent building. It is my super smelter, but it also doubles as a house for villagers, and it just looks really awesome in my opinion. So this is the collection. I'll take those. I want those. Anyways, this is the collection. So it'll come through a dropper system with bubble streams, and it'll get dropped off here. And I just really love how this place looks. So this barrel's technically just, you know, decorative, but I hooked up a hopper, and this is the actual place you put fuel in. And this is the actual place you put it in because there's a hopper minecart under that, and it'll split it into 4, and it'll do it extremely fast, which is not only awesome, but, efficient. And then, so this super smelter is actually kind of special. One half is all blast furnace, and one half is normal furnace. So the blast furnace side I use for copper because I have a ridiculous amount of copper ore because my base is on top of a dripstone cave. So like, look at that. There's a stack there. There's a whole bunch of ore I haven't even mined or fortuned yet. Plus there's an entire double chest up there of smelted copper blocks. And let's do a tour of the building, and then I'll show you the redstone down below. So we got our nice little staircase here, a little dark in this corner. This is one of the less heavily decorated because it's one of the more recent places, and I'm alright at decoration, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Like, this room's pretty empty. Then we come up, and there's actually a 3rd floor here, and, another bed, and bulk storage for nether materials because it was taking up almost an entire double chest and a double chest and a half, yes, of storage space. So I decided, maybe I should have somewhere else I store that stuff. So right here is the hatch that comes down and into the redstone of this monster. So yeah, so this is where the fuel chest is. You put your fuel in and it'll equally separate it between those 4 hoppers. And what I really should have done, I really should put a trap door above each of these 2 chests, because right now it's not like properly separating them because it trickles down the hoppers one by one. If I were to make it so I could just dump everything into these 2 chests, then it would go a lot faster and separate a lot faster. So down here, this is the unloading system. So if the carts pick up anything they want, or anything they can unload, they'll come and they'll get stopped right here with a minecart stopper. This little doohickey here. So if an item trickles from this hopper and into this hopper, so if there's an item in this hopper, this comparator will detect it and it'll lock, or it will turn off this powered rail, which will stop the cart. And it's the same thing on both sides. And then these hoppers come down and they trickle into the dropper system, and there's a bubble column right on the other side of this. So I don't want to break that and kill all my redstone. Then we come down, everything's running on hopper clocks down here, instead of just using minecart detectors, because I tried using minecart detectors and I'm not smart enough for that. But yeah, it's just running on a hopper clock. There's like 40 items, I think, in each of them. So when it's powered, the chest carts above will stop. So these are the fuel carts, so they'll stop and they'll get filled with fuel, and then they'll start bouncing back and forth again. And it's the same for each side. There's a hopper clock for each side because I'm lazy and didn't want to just do more redstone. Plus, the redstone down here is already cramped, and I can't actually have reserve fuel in these 2 hoppers because the track runs by, because this is also cramped. I could easily fix it by just rerouting the tracks and having them come down around this way and then connecting up back over here. And it's the same with this side, but it's only 1 hopper. You know, I could fix it just by going down and connecting back up where there's no redstone. To get out of here is a parkour puzzle. Uh-oh. Okay. You gotta, parkour out of here every single time. So that's the super smelter. Then this I built yesterday as well. It's just a little gathering area for the villagers under a tarp. So it's like if it's raining, they have protection from the rain and from the sun on long days. Then down this way, we'll ignore that for now. Over here is like a log mill, and yeah, I think it looks super cool with these cranes. And then I have a little dock down here with a boat with more logs, so it's like the logs are getting shipped in from somewhere else. And that dirt block isn't supposed, or grass block isn't supposed to be there. Enderman must have placed that. But I've been meaning to put a staircase right here so the villagers can get back up, because there are beds in that building there. And a lot of the villagers fall off this cliff here and then have a hard time getting back up. So then they just get murdered by zombies in the night. But yeah, I absolutely love this build. This is one of my favorite builds on this map. Tons of stone cutters for the villagers. And then up here is just filled with beds. Yeah, there's a lot more stone cutters than villagers could even be over here. Anyway, I need to build more buildings. That's what I've been working on. And before we go over to that, that's the tree farm. Before we go over to that, let's jump down here. So I chose this spot because this is actually like a couple 100 blocks away from world spawn. World spawn is in that direction. But this is the reason that I picked this place, because there's this big, just open cave. It looks like it wants to eat you. There's a lot more spikes around before, and I tried to make it look like this is all braced with wood. Like the cliff is going to fall down if they're not there. But this opens up into a huge dripstone cave down below, and you'll notice there's a giant pit down here. I was going to put the tree farm here, but then decided it was too much digging and gave up. So we got a little dock here. I plan on extending the dock and maybe adding 1 or 2 more boats here. I think the boats look awesome. Or this boat looks awesome. I am awful at building boats. So I'm actually pretty proud of this little barge that I built here. Just a little spot for a bed. Decorative, of course. Villagers aren't going to get down there. Oh, this I thought was really cool too, even though it's kind of dumb. But you got your little gangway plank for getting across. It's just a trapdoor and you flip it up and down. There's just not one on this side, so you know it's not actually part of the build. I put it there for a purpose, and that was the purpose. I know it's dumb, but I think it's cool. And these cranes, I love these cranes. So cranes in real life, you know, they got the really long arm that comes way out, and then the cable for building skyscrapers. But then on the back, they have that big box-looking thing. That's a counterweight. So that counterweight, you know, keeps the crane from falling forward when it's lifting a heavy load. So I made sure to try and be realistic in that sense. And I think it turned out pretty good. Like, these look really cool in my opinion. This is supposed to be like a log mill, by the way. I was gonna put like a stone cutter in the middle here, then maybe like a water channel, so it's like the logs are getting pushed from over there into the stone cutter, but then I decided not to and just make it a villager house, and I think it looks cool either way. So let's check out the tree farm. So this tree farm is Etho's design. Obviously his design is better because he's better at redstone than me. But it works okay-ish. There's hoppers under these ones, but they're locked from redstone torches that power the pistons that are below these blocks. And yeah, that's kind of a problem. Let's see, where's some saplings? That keeps happening, and it bugs me. Let's grab 16 of these, just so we can see it run. All of these are grown, right? Okay, good. So one thing with this tree farm, if all the trees aren't grown and you run it, your dirt here will get broken, and possibly even the piston arms. So we come up here, I'll show you just roughly how it works. So that bubble stream has a line of redstone torches that come all the way up and all the way over here. So this is the timing system. So it'll light a TNT, and there's piston arms that are extended on the inside here. So that's what this delay is. Once this delay finishes, then these will start getting pulled back, and they get pulled back, and it's timed just right so that the TNT will fall to a certain level on the trees, and it'll explode. So like one will get the bottom, next one will get slightly more up, and so on. But anyway, I kind of messed up this down here. It keeps getting blown up by the very last TNT. It's kind of annoying, but, you know, I live with it. I should raise the walkway up by one maybe, or just put obsidian here. Also, these blocks are due to change. Don't worry about it. I know it's brick and, you know, cobblestone. Don't worry about it. I just ran out of brick, and I will replace it eventually. So when I was building this thing actually blew up about 10 times when I was testing it, and I could never figure out why it was blowing up. But then I realized I had misplaced a repeater up there, so it was screwing everything up. But basically, this walkway is supposed to extend out until you're right below this chute here. Then you fall down. So this is the exact middle of all the trees. You get your hoe and you mine out the center. And then that's the trigger mechanism, or this is. So that pushes you, that slime block pushes you along and sends you out here. And then that pressure plate there triggers the whole system. And then, as you can see, these pistons push the remaining wood blocks back. That is for a very important reason of laziness. If you don't do that, you have to come and mine these blocks out manually. And me and Etho are both lazy, so why would we do that? Anyways, so when you're done, you can just replant. You can bone meal the trees if you want to get lots fast, but usually from doing one, you get about 3 to 4 stacks of logs each. Then it comes into this little auto sorter system. So right here is my spruce stuff, and then we come over. There's dark oak. You can use dark oak with this. Those items. I want those items. So yeah, I usually just chop down dark oak manually because I don't have a lot of their saplings. Then I think this is supposed to be like jungle. Then I don't know. I have a section for oak here. You can't really use oak in here. And yeah, jungle. And I think I can't remember what trees I have set up to sort. But then there's one for sticks here that you get from the leaves despawning. And then this is a miscellaneous dump chest. So I just dumped a bunch of bones in here. And I don't know why there's jungle saplings in there. But I've been too lazy to take them out and throw them like that. This is the bubble stream from the smelter below, and it comes up and dumps stuff in. I've been meaning to like hide it with maybe a little wall right here or a bunch of trees and plants. But no, I'm lazy. Okay, so let's go check out my skeleton spawner. It's the XP farm I use the most because it's still the most efficient one I have, but I have one that is technically better, but I don't use it because I haven't completely finished it. But anyways, so I built this like bridge here when I built this building. For a long time before, I kept losing the hole, and I don't know how I kept losing the hole. So I had this line of lime wool right here, just so I would be able to find the hole down to my skeleton farm. But yeah, so for a long time, it was just a little dirt staircase up to this hole, and I dug the hole so it was easy to find because it's, you know, it's there's like this mountain here, and it's on the opposite side of the mountain. It's not very far, but yeah. But so yesterday I was just doing some chores around my world, cleaning things up and making things look a little nicer. Um, Definitely cleaning things up. And then we come over here. This is my current food farm. I know I have the cow farm over there. I got lazy and sick of breeding and killing the cows, so I just made an automatic chicken farm. It's basically how this works. Let's see if we can get back here. So there's a bunch of chickens in this hole right here. Those chickens will lay eggs and they'll go into this hopper and into that dispenser. So when that dispenser, if a comparator detects something in that dispenser, then this line activates and it fires the dispenser. And that puts a bunch of baby chickens on this slab here. So when they grow into an adult chicken, they'll die in the lava. And then there's a hopper and a chest, and that puts the chicken in there. And that's how I get my food. Yesterday, I was also working on making this tunnel look nicer by putting, some oak support beams and whatnot. But I didn't get very far because I ran out of oak logs, and I couldn't decide which block I wanted to decorate with. So we come down this minecart track, and this is the skeleton farm. This is also one of my favorite builds, but it's still unfinished. I still need to fix this up here, and when I was building it, I planned on putting black stone, but I ran out of it like instantly almost. And I've gotten a lot since then. I've just been too lazy to come out here and fix it. But this thing is super like redstone dense. Like it doesn't look like it from here, but like this is the bone sorting column. This is the arrow sorting column. These two columns are for sorting armor from bows, and the bows come into the furnaces as fuel. So it's kind of a self-sustaining melting system. So like I can disenchant the metal armor, and then I can throw it in here, and the bows from the system will just smelt it. And it's amazing. I actually use this one a lot, even though I technically have a better one. That's just because this one's more reliable and therefore more efficient. So if we come back into the redstone here, I'll show you how it works. It's a big, just spaghetti monster back here. So these tubes come over and deposit arrows. There's another one there, and it deposits the bones. So let's go back down. This is where it gets kind of scary. So this thing, I looked up a tutorial for this ages and ages ago, like way before I even made this world. I've built a couple worlds where I have used this system, but basically it uses armor stands. Maybe I'll put a link to the video if I can find it again. But basically it uses armor stands, so the armor will get equipped on an armor stand. This is hurting my brain. So let's see, where is that dispenser? Right there. So armor and bows will get shot out of this dispenser, and when they get shot out, there's an armor stand sitting right there. So that's where they're getting shot into. So it's a if it's armor, um, the armor stand will get shot by this dispenser full of arrows, and I need to make a chest column so I don't have to keep refilling it all the time. But basically, so when the armor stand breaks, it drops all the items at the top of it. So, at the head level, that's where all the items come out. So then those items get sent down and through there. There's also a collection system for the armor stands, and they get put back into their little hopper dispenser here. Those aren't supposed to be there. That's somewhat worrying. Anyway, so then bows go below the trapdoor and into another water stream, and yeah. Very complicated. I made it seem a lot more simple than it is. It's not. And over here is where, right above, right here, is where you kill the skeletons. So there's a bunch of hoppers, and this is where the bones and arrows get sorted out, is right here. And they get sent into their own hopper line, and I don't even remember where. Oh, right here. So arrows get shot out here, bones get shot out down there, and then they go up their own elevators and out. This is one of the better redstone things I've built in my life, and I used a tutorial to follow it, so I know I'm pretty awesome. But anyways, spawners on the other side of this wall. There's stairs here to block out the light because it was actually affecting. It's supposed to be trapdoors, you see here. So this is the bubble column right here. That's supposed to be trapdoors, but trapdoors let light through, which was affecting the spawning rates, which was slowing down the farm. So I put stairs there instead. Right here is technically where you're supposed to stand to kill them, because you got a good, you can see all of them and you can reach all of them right here. So if you've got a sweeping edge sword with mending, don't forget the mending, then yeah. These are all super tools. You would notice I don't have netherite. I don't really like how netherite looks. Plus, the diamond armor is just nostalgic to me because I've been playing Minecraft since pretty much the beginning. And netherite is fairly new in the ever-growing Minecraft. But anyway, let's leave here. My original XP farm, the zombie farm. It's way down over here. It's where I was fighting withers for a while. That's not the way. We'll go down here anyway. So down here is my iron farm. And it's pretty simple. It's meant to be high efficiency, but I've got that whole village above, so it actually runs a lot slower than it should. Which doesn't matter, because it's constantly running, because it's constantly below me, but these guys are supposed to get pushed through the portal. I don't know why he's stuck there. But basically, it uses a zombie. The zombie gets popped up, freaks out the villagers, makes iron golems spawn, and then the water streams push iron golems into the portals, and they get killed in the nether. And basically, by doing that, you let more iron golems spawn faster because they're getting pushed into the nether almost immediately when they spawn, so more and more can spawn more frequently. let's go down this way. So this is down to my mine. I've been haste mining down here. It's also where my slime farm is, because there just happens to be a slime chunk right here. So I've got like 6 levels for slimes to spawn. And that's my haste beacon over there. Let's see, where is that zombie farm? I know you can get into it from here. I think it's from over here. Maybe. I don't think it's from right here. Okay, so this is the actual spot I get in and out of my mine. So this is the drop chute. We drop down from those slabs right there. So you just jump down and you go all the way down to the mine, and this is the bubble column that brings you back up. So then we come over this way. This is how I was originally getting into the zombie farm. So this hole right here, this drop chute. So it'll come all the way down and it will land right here. So I had it set up, or I eventually set it up, so zombies would just automatically die and I would get the rotten flesh from them. But I don't even come down here enough anymore for that to be relevant. And I plan on making a gold farm, so I'll get a ton of rotten flesh from that. But basically, this is where I actually fought my first wither, is in this hole right here, and I would... that's what this pipe is for. There's also a villager hidden to make that farm more efficient. But basically, I would open it up here, and lure a ton of zombies out right here. And I had them come down, and I had a little hole that they couldn't get out of, and I put them in there, and I spawned the wither, so I got a bunch of wither roses from that. And that's how I was originally getting wither roses. But now I use chickens instead in my mine. My mine is where I fight the wither now. If you're paying attention, there's a big pit, because I fought a couple of withers in there. Almost went back down. Alright, now to the nether. We'll ignore that because that is technically for another video that I am working on. But I'll give you a sneak peek. Well, not a sneak peek, but a hint. You ready? Oh, close. I don't think you're ready. I'm trying to build a castle. Don't tell anybody. Okay, enough messing around. Alright, so this nether portal comes into my nether hub. Great. These guys are everywhere and I hate it. Okay. So this is my nether hub. It's still an ongoing project. I haven't completely finished it, but it's pretty close to done at this point. I still need to fill in these areas with blackstone. And I can easily get that, I'm just lazy. So each of these paths are eventually meant to go somewhere once I, discover something. It's also meant to discover new biomes. You make another tunnel way, way out past anything you've generated in your world, and then you ride that out and make a portal on the edge of what you've generated. That's also my copper. That's where I oxidize my copper down there. So that way is to my sand farm, which we'll visit there next. But this little boat track here is out to the wither skeleton farm, and I've been working on it. It's actually really close. I got pretty lucky. But basically, I've been slabbing the nether. I've spent at least 6 hours slabbing, and there's still a lot I need to do, like over there, and yeah, there's a lot to do. It's kind of overwhelming, so I've been taking breaks from this project. So this is the wither skeleton farm right here. Usually to use this thing, because I haven't slabbed it all the way, I'll go into my video settings, and I'll just change everything way down. So then things should only spawn, within 5 chunks of me. But yeah, this is my wither skeleton farm. Not completely finished, just because I haven't slabbed everything. But yeah, we've got an auto sorting system right here. So this is for wither skeleton skulls. Then this one is for coal, or these 2 rows are for coal, and these 2 rows are for bones. And then the stone swords I have just being shot off the edge right here. And this is where my main enchanting is. So this is where I've been storing all my enchanted books. I don't have a lot of them right now because I actually recently died slabbing the nether because I fell in the lava here while I was placing slabs. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire story. But if you don't know how wither farms work, or wither skeletons, I should say, basically there are pads right here full of wither roses. That's what the wither roses are for. You cover them with the roses, then you put a piglin in the middle, and piglin and wither skeletons are sworn enemies, and they hate each other. They hate each other's guts. So wither skeleton will come around to a little hole that's that hole right there, and there's a trap door there, so they'll fall down a hole, and then the same process happens with the piglin, and they'll run down and fall down into that killing chamber, and that gets them down to like half a heart. That entire ordeal they have to go through. I found gravel. Problem is my shovel is silk touch, so I gotta bust it by hand. Okay, I got a flint. Watch me have done all that, and then I'll have iron on me. So I set up this little blast shield. Not really a blast shield, but a sight shield, so ghast can't shoot at me because I keep shooting the portal out. Anyways, we come out to here, and I actually chose this spot specifically because it is right on the edge of a mesa biome, and also this desert is huge. Same with the mesa. And you can see I've already tore out a pretty good chunk. This is all specifically just for TNT and netherite mining, so I can get better tools. So we'll come out there. Man, words are hard. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, and it's one of the really cool looking mesa. I think it's called Badlands. But yeah, massive desert, desert temple there that I looted, and Badlands. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the one that's got the hoodoos like this. This is one of my favorite mesas. There are types of mesa that you can find. Like, look at this. Absolutely huge, and it looks awesome. Plus, there are big mountains, so I can get a lot of terracotta here if I want. Alright, one last thing to show. This is where the iron the iron golems fall through and come to the nether, and there's just a little lava pit here. And this is the collection system down here. Also, we got the basalt farm, and down there is where I mine for netherite with TNT. Nothing too interesting. But yeah, basically that's my entire world over, 2 years. And before you go criticizing me like, oh, ninjawesty, why? I play for a month and I've done more than you. Well, I like to play slow. I like to sit and build. And I don't play every single day for, 10 hours on end. And when I do, I usually bounce around to different things. Like I'll play on a server and then I'll play in my single player world. I like variety. And yeah, if you noticed, I did not show you the end because I actually haven't been to the end. Switch to the right one there. Okay. Um, that is because I have been purposely pushing going to the end away because I find like if you go and get shulker boxes and elytra that it's just not as fun. And it just reminds me of the old days of, before you were able to just fly from point A to point B in, 10 seconds when it was a 10-minute walk before. And I just like Minecraft, the simpler days of Minecraft. And all these updates I don't really like because, like, yeah, it's really cool. We get new blocks and new things that we can build, but at the same time, I enjoy the simpler days of Minecraft. So don't be too mad at me because that's just how I like to play the game. But anyways, just to finish off our little world tour here, I was gonna show you my to-do list, which is this little book I'm holding, and it's all the things that I'm currently working on, and it had more things on it right now, or than it does right now, that I have completed. Like my iron farm, and took me a second there to think of something, and the skeleton spawner farm. Those are ones on there, as well as super smelter and things like that. But basically, this is everything on my to do right now. Mob system, I have a creeper farm, but not a natural mob system. I don't really need one, but you know, just to have everything. I'm currently working on the castle. Gold farm I haven't started yet. Um, Expand village is an ongoing one. That one will probably never get completed. Potion factory, I'll probably end up putting in the castle. Netherwort farm, and so on. You can read everything. Go to end is one of them, and there's the second page. And yeah, you can pause and read them if you want. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you want a world download of my world, like if enough people wanted that, um, I would definitely, just do that in a second. If that's what people wanted, I would, set up something on like the Minecraft forums, a download on the Minecraft forums, or Planet Minecraft, or just something like that, so people can, you know, if you crazy people think my world is interesting enough to explore, I mean, I showed you pretty much everything, other than the bajillions of caves I've lit up. But yeah. Oh, did I say that already? I have a bunch of little sneaky hidden signs for my own amusement, and a lot of them I've forgotten what they say or where they are. I know where one is. There's one in this. Um, get to the right perspective there, guy. One sneaky sign is in there. All of them say something, just they were all designed to make you chuckle, and they're all over the place if you just look. But yeah, if people want a world download, I'd be happy to do it. But I'll only do it if people actually want that. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm ninjawesty, and a note on the Project Ozone series that probably isn't going to continue unless people tell me that they that that they enjoy it and that they want it to continue. And the reason behind that is I played more of it off camera, and it's just I'm a really fragmented person, and that's really hard. And there's a million different things that you need to do at once. And yeah, like I said, I'm all over the place constantly. If this video isn't enough for you to tell that, then I don't know what is. And it gets really hard and super grindy, and I don't really know how to make that, fun content for people to watch. But if people want me to go back to that, then I'll go back to that. But right now, that series is being put on hold because I am not patient enough, and I don't think I could make, you know, whoa, super fun and interesting content on that. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye.